Assalamualaikum and a very good day. In this section, we will explore the concept of ESG, SRI and green sukuk and see how they connect within the context of Islamic finance. First, ESG stands for environmental, social and governance. It is a framework used by investors to measure a company's sustainability and ethical impact. Second, SRI, or Sustainable and Responsible Investment, is an investment strategy that intentionally brings positive targeted social or environmental outcome alongside financial return. Third, Green Sukuk, Sharia-compliant investment certificates specifically used to finance climate-friendly or environmental projects such as renewable energy. Now, let us look at how this modern sustainability concept map directly onto traditional Islamic core principles. If you look at this slide, we can clearly map out the relationship for the environmental and social pillars. For the environmental, the Sharia principle is khilafah and amanah, which means stewardship and trust. Humans are assigned to protect and preserve the earth, therefore, damaging nature or wasting raw resources directly violates our spiritual duty as stewardship. For the social, the Sharia principle is the prohibition of riba or interest. The sustainability connection here is that it replaces exploitative, compounding that cycle with real-world and risk-sharing models. This directly promotes financial inclusion and social justice, or adla. Finally, let's look at the governance pillars and its practical applications. For governance, Sharia strictly prohibits gharar, which means uncertainty, and maisir, which means gambling. This mandates 100% contract transparency and ethical operation, forming the core of good corporate governance. Green and SRI Sukuk perfectly combine this traditional Sharia screening with international ESG metric to fund green infrastructure. As a real-world example, Malaysia introduced the world's first green sukuk in 2017 to successfully finance local renewable energy and climate projects. In conclusion, Islamic finance principles do not just match sustainability, they provide its core moral foundation.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Zulhini bin Muhammad Kamil. Now I will explain the key differences between sukuk and conventional bond based on 7 criteria. Firstly, is the nature of the instruments. Sukuk represents ownership in underlying assets, services, or projects that generate an income. In contrast, conventional bonds represent a debt obligation where investors lend money to the issuer and receive repayment in return. Secondly is underlying structure. Sukuk is asset-based, meaning it is linked to real underlying assets. On the other hand, conventional bonds are debt-based instruments that create a creditor-debtor relationship between investors and the issuer. And the third difference is Sharia compliance. Sukuk must comply with Islamic principles and avoid prohibited elements such as riba or interest. Conventional bonds don't have these requirements and normally involve interest-based transactions. Another important difference in the source of return. Sukuk investors earn returns from the profits or revenues generated by the underlying assets. In comparison, conventional bondholders receive return through fixed and floating interest payments. The fifth difference is the repayment at maturity. For sukuk, the repayment value is linked to the market value of the underlying asset. For the conventional bonds, investors usually receive the original principal amount that was agreed upon when the bond was issued. The next difference is risk sharing. Sukuk investors share both the risks and rewards associated with the underlying assets. This means that their returns may vary depending on the performance of those assets. In contrast, conventional bond investors mainly face the issuer's credit risk as their returns are generally fixed and depend on the issuer's ability to repay the debt. And for the last, the purpose of issuance is also different. Sukuk are issued to raise funds in a manner that complies with Islamic finance principles. Conventional bonds are issued primarily as a form of debt financing to obtain capital from investors. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Irfan. I'm gonna talk about the key characteristic of ESG, SRI Sukuk, and Green Sukuk. Basically, these are financial tools that combine Islamic finance with sustainability goals. The characteristic is similar to each other, like follow Sharia law, focus on ethical investing, transparency, and support sustainable development. Next, we look at ESG and Sri Sukuk. Under Sharia principle, the money cannot involve interest or non-halal activities. Instead, there is a strong ethical investment focus, which means putting funds into projects that help the environment and society. And to make sure that everything is done right, there is a strict transparency and accountability. Issuer must share clear report showing the measurable sustainability outcome, proving that the project are truly making a positive impact. Last but not least, we can see the specific rules for Green Sukuk. They require Sharia compliant financing and an exclusive use of proceeds, meaning the money raised must only be spent on green and sustainable projects. To build trust, this project go through independent and verification on reporting by outside experts. In the end, this creates a long-term sustainability focus, helping us build a better and more climate resilient future. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Adam Chris bin Ahmad Rushdi. Now we continue to the Maqasid al-Shariah. Maqasid al-Shariah refers to the goals and objectives of Islamic law. Generally, it focuses on the benefits of individual and community. Maqasid al-Shariah in Islamic finance requires stakeholders to uphold transparency, justice and ethics by using practical financial contracts that protect public welfare and reject harmful transactions. There are three categories of Maqasid al-Shariah, which are the necessity to cover the basic needs of human existence, that is religion, life, lineage, intellect and property. The second one is convenience, refers to something that people require to avoid constraints and difficulties in their life. The refinement refers to the interest to make human life easier that will lead to a better life and progress in morality and spirituality in the Muslim society. The importances of Maqasid al-Shariah are promote social justice. It helps ensure wealth is fairly distributed among people. The second one is protects wealth. It encourages safe and ethical financial transactions. The third one is support economic stability. It helps reduces harmful practices such as excessive speculation and interest. Fourth, improve public welfare. It encourages investment that benefits society, such as education and healthcare. The last one is encourages responsible investment. It promotes investing in business that are ethical and sustainable. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Dani bin Sharif. My matrix number is 2034-273-212. I want to continue the presentation about the example of sector or project finance through ESG or SRI Sukuk. For the first, Green Sukuk. Renewable energy is the financing the construction and infrastructure of solar power plants. For example, in Malaysia, we have a Tadau Energy Sudian Berhad, wind turbines and hydroelectric dams. Project example is solar farm, wind energy and hydroelectric project. The impact from the project is to reduce the carbon emission and promote clean energy. The second one is sustainable transportation. Capitalizing low carbon mass public transit network such as electric rail or mass rapid transit systems to curb urban vehicle emission. For the example is, in Malaysia we have a MRT systems, electric vehicle infrastructure and rail project. The impact from the project is to reduce traffic congestion and greenhouse gas emission. We go to the next slide. Social Sukuk. First, education. Education is financing public-private partnership initiative for upgrade educational facilities and enhance national learning standards. For example, Malaysia Islam Sukuk for Yayasan Army Trust Schools. For the example for this project is university, school and educational facilities. We do this project to support human capital development and social inclusion. For the second one is healthcare. Healthcare is tapping into social impact investment markets to expand affordable medical access, fund vaccine program and establish community healthcare facilities. For the example for this project is hospital, medical facilities and public health programs. We do this program or if the impact from this program is enhanced social welfare and community well-being. That's all from me. Thank you.